From Phnom Penh to Singapore. I was surprised by the beauty of its airport. Changi Airport, in fact, is the world's best airport. It's very clean, organized. There are many things to do, and they even give out tours. If you're perhaps on an overnight flight, you have many hours of wait, you can just go out and explore the city for a few hours. They have that option. And yes, I was actually surprised that they don't even put a stamp on your passport. In fact, they just do everything online. You have to fill up a form prior your flight to Singapore. Everything is in the system. They just scan your passport and you enter the country. So everything is very civilized. Changi Airport, the world's best airport. And yes, once you exit Changi Airport, right here in Singapore, Air Changi Airport, buses that go to the city. I found the buses very comfortable, very convenient, very modern buses. Wow, just put the card inside. And the price is about $2 for one ride, so you just times 1.34, 1.35, and you will get that amount in Singapore dollars. But if I'm not mistaken, $2.80 Singaporean dollars. So yes, it's a very nice, clean city. Using taxis is quite expensive. Prices range from $5 up to 40 to 50 US dollars. Yes, prices for taxis in Singapore are very expensive. In fact, many taxi riders in Singapore, what they make from their own businesses, they can actually pass time, or they just do it for fun, just to be busy. Yes, many drivers in Singapore have businesses. They're quite wealthy, and it's always fun to talk with them because they'll give you some insight of the life in Singapore. And for a country that has just over 5 million people, I think it's very well organized, but it's quite difficult to live because there are these corporate offices of large companies, and then you have people that work a lot. They slave from morning until evening, and then whatever they earn, they just spend it on the many bars, entertainment areas, restaurants. I mean, in Singapore, it was actually difficult to find a place to sit because I found Singapore very crowded. I found that you always had to book a restaurant ahead of time. Even waiting for your own meal, it could take up to 30 minutes just to wait for your own meal. There is no local food in Singapore except for some vegetables that are grown organically, or some orange juice, or some juices or fruits that are grown in local farms. But yes, everything is imported from Malaysia, so there isn't really anything special from Singapore, but there are some local products, and I found those local products quite expensive, anything from $5 to $20 up for local products. But I found food in supermarkets in Singapore not as bad as I thought. Prices are pretty average if you compare to Cambodia or other countries. What I found really expensive in Singapore is the accommodation. I stayed in a simple room for $140 per month in a bit quiet area of the city. But yes, if you want to get a room, you have to pay as much as $120 to $140 per night. This is the cheapest price for a room in Singapore, with a bathroom, with some bed. But yes, very small, very tiny, and there was not even a gym. Yes, the breakfast was included, but it wasn't anything special. So if you want to get something really nice, you have to pay up to $200 to $250 to $300. If you want something basic, then definitely at least $140 to $120 per night. And yes, there is this Marina Bay Sands where the Formula 1 Grand Prix is held everywhere. Yes, Marina Bay Sands is a very interesting place to go. There are many things to see and buy. Finally, we are here, Marina Bay Sands. You can see at the back there is a casino inside, and there is also this token to 2049 held in Singapore, and the next stop is Dubai. Here in Marina Bay Sands, Singapore, there are many shops, but the bar itself at the top of Marina Bay Sands is extremely expensive. A drink can cost up to $100 US. Yes, anything there is extremely expensive. It's very expensive here. But the views are amazing. You can see the entire Singapore beneath you, so it's a very interesting place. There are nice walks you can do around the botanical garden, and also Bukit Timah, the highest point in Singapore, with an elevation of 164 meters, a 20 meters hike up, which I found quite interesting. It was actually interesting to go there. And yes, everything in Singapore is organized. The trash, you can throw it in a separate, some crazy fines that we would pay. Like I remember walking up to Bukit Timah, and they would ask me, they would ask everyone on the sign written that the fine would be up to 50,000 Singapore dollars, close to 40,000 US. If you would feed monkeys, a crazy fine. Fines are extremely outrageous, and I heard from taxi drivers that the cheapest room you can get with maybe just a shared bathroom is 900 US per month. So they are pumping, pumping some crazy prices. So if you want to get a one-bedroom apartment, you have to look for something between 1,000 US to 2,000 US, and if you want to get something nicer, from 2,000 US upwards. Yes, if you want to buy property in Singapore, because Singapore is so small, at least 1 million US if you want to buy property. Yes, you can get more in rental because prices are higher, but still foreigners are taxed 15 to 22% for non-residents, and locals are charged from 0% to 22%. One good thing that I like about Singapore is that its citizens are deducted every month from whatever they earn, 20%, and that 20% goes for their social welfare. They get free housing, they get medical insurance, and they get some social benefits. Everything they earn is deducted by 20%, and that 20% is their life fund when they grow older. But yes, Singapore is an interesting place. It's a modern country. Would I live there? I don't think so, because most people that go there, they just go on a tour, which I do recommend to save money. You go on a tour for business. Yes, like the Token 2049 was held in Singapore. Many big events are held in Singapore, but overall, most people that go to Singapore, they go for business and holiday. You can check some nice museums, the Merlion Statue, Marina Bay Sands, other sites like the botanical gardens where you can take a walk. So some interesting places that you can see in Singapore. Sentosa itself, a very nice place if you want to leave the city for a bit. There are nice beaches, you can swim there, you can enjoy the scenery, and you can take the cable car, which costs around 15 Singapore dollars if you want to take it. And yes, I think everything seems nice and comfortable. So I think Singapore is definitely a good place for business, for leisure, for living. Quite difficult unless you are very wealthy or you are okay in living a very high demanding competitive life, because yes, Singapore is very competitive, and yes, you have to have a high income to live there.